Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, Auto Racing Connected's Touring Car Championship returns for the third week, the 5th and 6th races of the 14-round championship. And we head to hallowed ground, the Green Hell, there's another nickname, I'm forgetting. The Nurburgring Nordschleife plays host to the 5th and 6th rounds. Apparently we're doing 2 equal-length races, both on the Nordschleife. 3-lap rounds, presumably all of the same formats as the other stuff, just, you know, not using the whole shorter layout thing. Kind of a smaller field today as well. We only sent one driver home, and that was one Matt Wright, I think it was. So clearly, I'm beginning to wonder if perhaps Brantash wasn't a false dawn. We had 29 on the first week, and then we can't even get past. We can barely get to 20 after the fact. I think that we had exactly 20 at Barcelona, and now we had 16. If I didn't have to commentate, I would have probably taken the wheel and driven myself, especially considering I have a bit of a history with this track. But instead, I'm in the commentary box, and I'm excited to broadcast a Nordschleife race because I do have enough knowledge of this track. I don't know any of the stuff like the corner names, except for like the really obvious ones. I'm getting better with some of them, but there's still just so many corner names to keep track of. Also, we're not doing a formation lap, so yeah. As you can see here, Rodrigo Regalado is on pole. Rolling start! I missed qualifying because I was having, I guess, health concerns. I had to go to the bathroom. But we are green from the Nordschleife. We are flooring it off of the line. And the field's spread out very far on rolling starts, so we don't really expect to see a whole lot of chaos into turns 1 and 2, but usually we find a way. This is a very tight first section at the Nordschleife. Back-to-back hairpins. There's going to be a bit of argy-bargy somewhere, I'm sure, but everything looks relatively civilized. And then in case that one wasn't enough, here's another hairpin. Oh no, never mind, that's not that version. Never mind. You do take the stadium section. I thought this was the VLN layout, but it's not, because there's like 30 different ways to set up this track. Anywho, I think we did have, I didn't even really pay attention to what the starting grid was. I didn't exactly have a chance to really look because there was no formation lap. So we're just kind of jumping into things here. Pretty much feels like I just started a quick race or something. Or like that feeling of like kind of beginning to watch a new show, but it's already like midway through its 2nd season. Kidiko had a peek around the outside of Idkonen, who's finally had a more representative qualifying under his belt. Still trying to get around the outside of that Volkswagen, but momentum stalls out, and now there's just an absolute accordion effect. This looks like NASCAR pack racing as we head down towards the chicane, the faster chicane, as opposed to the one we were taking in qualifying, because we qualified at the GP circuit. Which could be a little tricky, especially if it were a bigger qualifying session, as AJ tries around the outside a 3rd time and still cannot find the result he's looking for. Crossover attack. Now he's got the inside on Eunice. Still no dice. Rapid attacks from the Genesis driver. Sideways down the fast right. Sideways in a Genesis 4. That's almost impressive. He's really pushing that thing to try and get ahead of the Volkswagen there, if he's getting sideways at a high-speed turn. Eunice is just shrugging off the pressure. Meanwhile, Regalado, I apologize, I'm saying his name differently every time I say it out loud. I'm the exact same way with other words like root versus route, or roof versus roof. I don't understand either and either. there's some words like that where I have one determined way of pronouncing it. I never say data, I always say data. And obviously I'm in the potato and tomato category. Rubbershot took a peek at his team owner there, but decided against that. This isn't exactly a passing opportunity. Oh, a bumper to the back of the 41? Is that Eunice's number? 46, never mind. 41 I think is Boryoshi back here in 6th. He was currently watching his team owner go too wide with Robichaud for 4th. Scirocco has good acceleration and straight line speed. It always just struggles at low speeds. That's a lot of understeer. This can only be bad. Yep. Gonna lose 2 places missing that. Actually, I guess he only lost 1 because he was already ahead of one of those cars. But still, oh! Alexander Brown just kind of gives, oh boy, gives Robichaud an incidental door check. That'll knock him back behind Boryoshi. One must master close quarters combat to survive at this track, that is for sure. You can't pass here, other than the back straight, any other way, because the road just isn't wide enough to afford any other methods of passing. We're not even really halfway around the circuit. We've already got about 18 seconds between first and last place. That's like a quarter of a lap at some tracks on this calendar, and not even that much at some others, like Brands Hatch Indy. The Nordschleife is not kind, it is uncaring, and it is very much a you will learn the hard way type of track, so I'm not surprised that there is more of a skill gap here than there would already be anywhere else. And even the qualifying times of the GP circuit alone kind of show to that. Now, having gone from being the attacker to the defender, AJ has an all-terrain Volkswagen who just tried to pass in the grass on him, and I think he's actually done just that. The Scirocco, like I said, really good acceleration, really good top end, if you can understand how to make a front-wheel drive car leave a corner. Red One clearly understands that, I would hope so, at his level. However, he has not understood that left-hander, and still somehow stayed alongside Knickel and will actually get ahead of him, so that was, in fact, a pass in the grass by dipping through the grass twice. I'm not sure I understand, but okay. I'm really at a loss for that one. Here comes the carousel. Easy on the throttle, or just do what Rigoletto is doing and get on and off of it like it's I don't know, doing CPR on the gas pedal. He's got Itkunen for company very close behind. And now AJ is taking a look at Red One up the hill. This isn't really a place to be aggressive. There are very many of those places at this track, to be fair. I don't know, you just kind of gotta roll with the punches here. If you don't, you're just kind of gonna stagnate more often than not. That's a bit of understeer. Not the best line. I think AJ will just about get away with that, though. Everybody takes a slightly different line there. Did Red One just give this place back? Or did he miss a turn I didn't notice? It's like Rigoletto has gotten a bit of space. I'm just going to commit to it. I'm going to say Regal, because, you know, that's like an actual word. If that's incorrect, I'll be corrected, and I'll at least have an alibi for why I think it's that way. But rather than just switch it back and forth over and over again, I'm going to at least stick to one. Something confidently incorrect, whatever the case might be. I don't think we'll be seeing a safety car today, considering the Nordschleife usually has very different rulings for course yellows and such. It would take, like, an actual cataclysm pretty much to really necessitate a yellow flag that actually... I mean, there'll be, like, section yellows and local yellows. Yes, yoke yellows. But that's the most we're probably gonna get. It's just like, and probably won't even be something I'll be aware of. It'll just be the drivers in the chat being like, hey, watch out here, somebody has just left the circuit. Going board with Eunice will witness the Scirocco's alleged straight line performance. You'd think the Mustang would easily drive away from this thing, but with some slipstream and a good run from that long right-hander, the answer is no. Heredia has escaped. He has had enough of the Nordschleife already. He hasn't even done a full lap of it. And, yep, that's about as simple as it gets. We'll see if the Mustang driver can contest, perhaps, into turn 1, if not right here. Speaking of that, Bird 1 versus AJ, round like 5, heading towards the S's here. Nothing doing there. It seems Alexander Brown overtook Boryoshi on the back straightaway. And Robichaud has not had the opening lap that he would like to remember. That is for sure. Whoa. That was a little trippy. Alexander Brown got his elbows out. He tried to get by somebody there. I presume Ridwan, but it didn't work. Looks like fuel usage may be of a concern in this race. Looks like, anyway, unless they started at less than maximum fuel, in which case, then it isn't. Kunin's got space to breathe and nothing more at the moment, about 8/10 between him and the Mustang. AJ Knickel has no such benefit. Nobody in the top 5 actually, or nobody else in the top 6 really does, because we got AJ leading a 5-car train through the middle part of the GP lap, and that's a bit of sand in his shoes. Ridwan will attempt to capitalize on that, but I don't think he'll have a chance. Suddenly pulling to the left gives him the inside for the first half of this chicane. And he will slip on by following that error. Alexander Brown will try the same thing, but he's got to go around the outside of Knickel at a traction zone, no less. Yeah, that's about what I expected. The Mustang swapping ends. You do not have the front-wheel drive. You do not have the four-wheel drive facilities for that, Alexander Brown. Robichaud's grabbed a penalty. Yoshi's trying to get one of his own, it looks like. Yep, he got it. As I say, that's not a line I would recommend taking here. Now, slipstream is granted to the Mustang, but he's not going to be able to do as much with it. You'll have no chance. Doesn't look like anybody's gonna have much of a chance. Even AJ, who's really close, he's gonna have to get really big. Oh, that's not the line I recommend taking, AJ. That's, I don't know what the heck caused that, but, that was nearly a disaster for him and for Ridwan. I guess one might classify that as just being a disaster for the Canadian driver. He darn near took the Volkswagen driver with him. A 1.35 for FR Racing at the moment. and a 2.4 for KVM at the moment. 6.7 for Vision 47, and then what is that? 8.9 for 8.9 for Wildcard, who only got 2 drivers in this race. There's no Caden McDonald, and there's still a Mason Buchanan, I think is how that's pronounced. Buchanan, one of those two, who has yet to make an appearance. Oh, that's a big spin for Alexander Brown. I moved the camera the wrong way, but he got bit by rear-wheel drive. He's like he and Regalado are the only rear-wheel drive cars in the top half of the field. You already lost one rear-wheel drive car in this race. AJ seems to be even more off the pace. He must have made another error while the camera was away. Just a lot of red and blue up in the top 5. Looks kind of like a match in Halo or something. Coke versus Pepsi, except neither one of these cars has any kind of drink sponsorship on them whatsoever. One's sponsored by a semi-truck manufacturer, and the other is sponsored by a phone company? Or like a phone carrier, I guess? Mobile service carrier. I think Rocket is like a Vodafone or a Verizon for like Europe or somewhere. I don't know. I honestly kind of forgot about them after they sponsored Williams for exactly a season. I almost wonder if Kaneko might be saving some fuel or something or other. ECR. Okay, so I'm dumb. Matt Wright was not sent home. It was Kyle Voiles. I don't know why I thought it was him. Oh yeah, there's also Pat Maher in the third Vision car. So I guess a 6-7-14. How many teams are represented out of the 10 that have signed up? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 teams out of the 10. I know exactly why my team isn't represented. Because somebody would rather watch the most boring motorsport on the planet right now than attempt to help his team get out of 10th in the championship. So, you gotta love that. Gotta love how many drivers out there are still scared of the Nordschleife like it's some kind of new object. Guys, this has been appearing in racing games for 2 decades now. If you don't understand it, go and learn, man. You just sit your behind down and take a prep course if you gotta. Ridiculous. I guarantee you that's why there's so few people here this week. It's not like it's Mother's Day. That was last week. No, this is just a case of half of the people in this league are just like scared of this place. Scared and or don't understand it. Half of my success came from the fact that when I was racing still, we had like 3 or 4 people in the league who even knew how to make a lap around this place without finding a barrier. You got way more than that nowadays. And we've certainly got a fair share of drivers who are in the other category of, this is the best track in the world. I wouldn't go that far myself, but I can definitely see why others would say that nowadays. Yeah, it's a very divisive track. It's either you love this thing, it's the best track in the world, and every track should be this difficult, or this thing is scary, I don't like it. There isn't really an in-between. Why is Eunice giving Rodrigo the slipstream as Ridwan is attempting to leave the Mustang in the dust? I suppose maybe Eunice reckons if he gives Ridwan the slipstream, he'll pass him as well? Now Regalado all of a sudden has a chance to take the lead back? What in the Daytona is going on here? To the S as we go. Let me actually get back to focusing on the actual racing. And yeah, Regalado gets back to the lead. I was just too busy tangenting. Hey, Riker, you're supposed to be like commentating an auto race here. Wow, that's a huge overspeed. Slipstream go crazy. And I think Yoshi will have that, but Alexander tries to outbrake him. He just simply cannot. Oh, Yoshi might have outbroken himself, though. Crossover attack. Basically a doubled up crossover attack. Alexander Brown is gonna find traction there and reclaim P4. AJ has gotten back ahead of his teammate at some point. Hey McCarthy, that's not where the racetrack is, and now your teammate is just overtaken. Unless that was the goal. Maybe he just wanted him to go by. Why did I... For a second there, I thought that he didn't have a number on his car. I don't know why. Oh, Maher is in the wall. Nordschleife ain't treat. Actually, that's not even... Oh, yeah, that is the end of the Nordschleife. Never mind. Man, he is still... Yikes. He's just getting out of the Nordschleife. Where did Regalado go? What? He must have had a big spin that I just missed or something. I am very dumb, apparently. I was like, oh yeah, the FR duo, or wait, the FR duo, where is... It is 1:10 between first and last. And then again, it's also 20 seconds between 13th and 14th. So I don't really know. It may not be the best, I guess, guideline. I don't know how to say that. It is now an FR123. And now it is also a KVM 45. And then a 4767. Very Noah's Arkian at the moment. Oh, and then wildcard 8-9. 10th for you, and 10-12 for GR, 11-13 for ECR, and then I guess it is a 6-7-14. My brain keeps forgetting that's Vision 47. Their cars look the same. I don't know why my brain's like, oh, it doesn't count. No, he does count. That is absolutely Vision 47, me. It's because he's not running with Stefan and AJ. That doesn't mean he's less of a 47 driver. Vision 47 driver, 47R. That's a new one. Who is that, Striker? Alexander Brown is now alone against the Volkswagens. I guess it is home track advantage for the Scirocco here. And for good measure, a vehicle that races here. And it raced here in real life when it was being assembled, actually. Words come out of my mouth correctly. Please, that's kind of the whole point. The Scirocco N24 is what the Group 4 is based on in this game, so this is basically a real-life thing. This is a canon event for the Volkswagen Scirocco. It was built to race here, and it shall. Yoshi's actually reeling in his two teammate leaders. Gap's down to just over a second between them, and he's taking Alexander Brown along with him. Regalado is continuing to suffer. Mustang clearly still kicking his behind. He's now fallen to AJ Knickel, now down to 6th. That clearly a missing whatever kind of cataclysmic affair. It's not tire wear. His tire wear is not exactly that bad. Nobody's really is. Even Isaiah Hines is kind of surviving on his tires. A driver who's got a bit of a history of absolutely just shredding his like they're copy paper. But I think this battle for the win is gonna only include these 5 drivers. I don't think AJ can really get up here. So what the camera? Yeah, obviously not. He's 6 seconds back from Alexander Brown. That's a distance to make up for sure in, what, 4 minutes of racing to go? In this first round, anyway? That camera is a little disorienting, I will not lie. Oh, Red One's gonna go for it. On the way up the hill, revving the heck out of the engine at the top of 5th, but there he goes into the lead. Bold strategy to take that now, not on the back straight. I was gonna say it minimizes the time loss for both drivers if he does it now. Wait, that doesn't matter, because the driver behind them is his teammate, who's pulling ahead and getting away from Alexander Brown behind. So, there's a joke I could make here, if I were Logan Cool. I'm not gonna. But, the Avengers have assembled. Not quite enough blue in their design to be Spider-Man, though. But, yeah. Each about 6-7 tenths apart from each other. Alexander Brown is desperately trying to get back up to them and try to do something about the Volkswagen onslaught, but I think it is a little late. I think, at least for the first half of this the doubleheader here, you're looking at an FR Racing 1-2-3. I think FR dominance could start to bore the AutoRacingConnected fans if this continues as it is. Also, I clearly told a lie. Fuel wasn't really any kind of a concern here. I guess they just started at about 2/3 of the fuel tank and barely used any. It can not have the sector he needed there. He's got Boryoshi for company. He's going to be too far away from Redwan to have a challenge at him when we get onto the back straightaway, unless something changes, obviously. And look at you and your fancy camera there, GT7. My word. Not even Hollywood could pull that one off, I don't think. The only way Ridwan is under any kind of threat is if Boryoshi starts literally bump drafting with Itkunen to get him up there. He's got an entire second to himself. And it's not like there's going to be any kind of straight line advantage because they're all in the exact same vehicle. I'm going on board with Yoshi as we head down the back straightaway one last time, at least for the sprint round. The sprint! That is the exact same length as the future, but that's not the point. He's getting there. Does he work with him? Nope, he is going alongside. The run's already stalling out, though. He pulled out alongside up the hill, but it doesn't matter. He's got enough of a run. He can't quite slingshot up to Hamza, though. So unless something dramatic happens... That was your cue, Ridwan. Something dramatic. No, he's just going to take the S's normally, and he will see as he exits the Nordschleife over the hump. Ridwan Hamza will this time flashbang me and flip the course of history. He will win the first half, followed immediately by his two teammates Yoshi and Itkunen for the FR 1-2-3. Alexander Brown claims 4th, best of the rest, one might say. Knickel 5th, Regal Auto 6th after some things have gone horribly wrong. Robichaud, here comes Darius in the Mustang, leading the bottom half of the field with a left front tire that's saying, please put me out of my misery. And his team owner McCarthy, whose left front is actually worse, and that won't help any. Hines, who's managed to make it through a race without having to pit, in 10th, followed immediately by AJ Oxtaconis, Joel Grant, Matt Wright, and Pat Maher, who is still making his way down the back straightaway. Okay, I don't know why I thought they were close to each other. It was like, oh, there might be a pass there. No, there will not be. And that will wrap up the sprint. Can we even call it a sprint if it's the same length? It's really just, it's race 1 of the night. The first half of the doubleheader. And now for the Super Bowl halftime show. Yeah, no, get real. Yeah, he won from 5th, that's right. Didn't even think about that. Definitely going to be making a break for the kitchen once we're done here. Holy cow. I feel like that was probably picked up on the microphone just there. My volcanic bowels, or rather stomach. I don't think that's the bowel. I think that's literally just my stomach grumbling at me because I haven't eaten anything yet. Even though I woke up 3 hours ago. It's about that time, but we still got to wait another half hour. You know what I mean. Ignore the dog. He has no respect for the art of commentary or anything else except for food. He's probably barking at a squirrel. I don't even have a drink down here either. I guess I haven't needed it yet. My voice is fine. Probably because I didn't have to get too excited in that race. I missed the excitement of Rodrigo botching it twice. It's terrible. Yeah, some GT World Series driver. I kid. I couldn't even get anywhere near those lap times. I just sit around and I feel like I probably would have been in like 10th or 11th if I were in this race. I'd have probably been running with the wildcard duo, I would guess. Oh my god! Shush! Jeez! Oh, because, because Heredia left. I'm not sure if it was actually because he had big racing problems or stinks, or if it was some other reason. But one Kyle Voiles is taking his 15th spot. Oh, we're starting to actually post the randomized list. Hey, nice IP address there. I assume it's the IP for the actual site, not for the person doing the randomization. Anyway, numbers, car numbers. I think that's going to be Alexander Brown on pole, followed by his teammate Regalado, and then Yoshi, then AJ, and then Yunus, and then Ridwan. So we darn near field flipped. At least for those 6. Obviously, forget the other 9. Oh my lord. I'm like 98% sure. That's got to be picking up on my mic, isn't it? That's like super touchy. Rolling. I already did that joke. Where's the countdown? There's the countdown. We are back to green flag racing just a couple minutes later. But now with a completely different top 6 on the starting grid. Alexander Brown leads us to the first pair of turns. Followed closely, hair in my mouth, by his teammate. But now KVH has gotten their 3rd driver, their team owner, is in the race. Pinnacle's already very intent on getting that 3rd spot away from Yoshi, but he's going to have to go the long way around for that, and that's not going to work in a Group 4 car. I think it would have been funny if AJ was put ahead of Yoshi on the randomized grid, just because then it would have been... Oh, the FR racing cars got 1, 2, 3? Do that again. I dare you. They probably will. They are in fact too wide, though. We might just see that at the end of the GP circuit if AJ can play his cards right, but yeah, he's going to be hard-pressed to stay there. He is going to stay there, though. I guess that is basically a flat-out turn, ain't it? Can AJ creep ahead? Will Yoshi contest at the next set of turns? He will try. As meanwhile, Yunus also had to fend off his own team owner for 5th place, and Robichaud is right there to contest them. AJ is away with 3rd. So FR has been flipped upside down, and if they're not careful, they may also be intruded upon by one Stefan Robichaud. Although that is a very good run from the chicane for Yoshi, but it's actually going to turn into defense as Idkunen had a good one of his own. Everything's still very close quarters, obviously, as we head onto the Nordschleife for the 4th time, technically. It feels like we just had a safety car, and everything that changed was due to pit cycles. Ignore the fact that we have an entirely different 15th car on the running order right now. That's not important. My neck has a mental breakdown. I'm going forward with the first round's winner here. We head our way through Flug Flats, not even really lifting very much. I'm sure if he wasn't in dirty air, he wouldn't have to lift either. Creeping up on the back of his Finnish teammate. He's got the run, he's going to try and take the run. He's got to go the long way around, though, at a very difficult corner to take one line. He's fine, though. Actually, he wasn't even close to understeering. So Ridwan gets by one of his 2 drivers. Yoshi, meanwhile, wants his 3rd spot back. and he's gonna get it pretty effortlessly down the hole, down the foxhole. I mean, the hole of foxes. Can you get it stopped? Well enough, I suppose. He actually really attacked that section, despite looking like he was offline. He actually closed in a lot on Regalado. And he's taking AJ Knickel with him, who himself is once again trying to take a peek, or he's just going to start bump drafting with the Volkswagen driver. Not in the corners, AJ. Like I had to tell you that. You're an NASCAR driver. I think you're the only one in the... No. He is not. Alexander Brown is also an NASCAR, I believe. I was going to say, I think he's the only one in the top 8 who runs that. No. That is a lie. He's one of 2, and I don't actually know who all runs in that besides him, though. And Alexander Brown. I don't... the guys back here might. I don't pay attention to it anymore until it's time to do stewarding and watch all the intentional crashing and all that, because it's our NASCAR. But I didn't say that out loud. No, the fake joke cough turned into a real cough. That's karma. I'm looking at the wrong gap. That's why. I'm like, he's not getting any closer. Why is the gap shrinking? Because that's not who's in front of him. That's who's behind him doing that. Red one is right there. Darn near knock his rear wing off. But, well, that's not a possibility, because this is GT7, and this damaged model was taken from the PS2 era. And that position has been taken from AJ Knickel, and he is now back up to 4th, so... Will we just see the more things change, the more they stay the same from Red one? Can you go from 6th to 1st? He's already gone from 5th to 1st. Meanwhile, Yoshi wants to go from 3rd to 2nd, overtaking Regalado up the hill. It's the light weight of the Scirocco and the inertia that lets it just scorch past people like that, along with the fact that its horsepower isn't BOP'd very much because it's front-wheel drive, which is automatically a massive handicap compared to literally any other way of building a car. And yet, it doesn't seem to matter. I'm pretty sure FR Racing could probably steal a win or two, even if they had I don't know, a GT5 car. You know, they could be in like the Ginetta GT5 from Project Cars 2. Yeah, remember that game? I do. Pepperidge Farm remembers. If you put any of these top 6 in any car in this class, even something as worthless as the Suzuki Swift Group 4, and I'm sure they'd still be competing for the podium spots. Such is just the deficit in skill between these 6 and most, I guess these 7. Frenchie's around here somewhere, right? No, he has a penalty and he's 2 seconds away. Even still, I think he'd be in the same boat on a better day. He just kind of seems to be having an off day, and AJ is off track. Alright, point taken. No covering up, no blanket. I'm not getting too comfortable. Start yawning uncontrollably again. Let's not do that. One sees a chance at Regalado, and that chance will not come to fruition. I don't know that it'll matter. I think he'll have a shot at him and on the back straightaway anyway, if what I've seen from these Scirocco's continues to be true. I don't think it would change, not unless Red one randomly decided to put it in mix 4 or something. I don't see why he'd do that. We've got like couples at the dance. We've got Yoshi trying to catch Alexander. We've got Red one out dragging Regalado, and we have AJ trying to run away from Eunice, and having not much success. And at the end of that deceleration, I think... Oh, never mind. He's actually nowhere near Darius. Ridwan's gotten Regal Auto. Eunice has gotten AJ. Can Yoshi get Alexander Brown? Yes, he can. Synchronized takedowns from FR Racing. This is just straight up criminal, I tell you. It is once again a 1-3-5 for FR Racing and a 2-4 for KVH, and then 6. The more things change, the more they stay the same. We are really just... nothing matters in AutoRacingConnected's nihilistic adventure. That's what I'm seeing right now. Eunice gets ahead of Regal Auto, but he's gonna miss that hairpin a little. Oh, that's not the time you want to break traction. That could have been fourth place back in your hands. Instead, you might lose fifth to Knickel. And you will. Such as, yep, that's the rear-wheel drive curse. Especially in one like a Mustang. I know that wouldn't have been his first choice for a car. He's made that rather clear. That's, the Mustang is suboptimal, and yet it's still getting 2 and 6 at the moment. And fighting for 1-6, not quite a crossover. Poor Yoshi is clinging onto that inside curb. He knew that Alexander Brown had that chance, and he was not going to leave that door open. Why does my brain keep not seeing numbers in the number boards? I was like, oh, there's no number on Andrew's car. No, there is. There 110% is. Somebody is really sideways. I can only assume that that would have been Alexander Brown because it's the rear-wheel drive car up here. I guess it could have been Rodrigo. He was close enough to hear the tires like that, but still. AJ is about to knock Eunice's bumper down, by the looks of that. Man, Yoshi is really backing it up. Or Alexander's really pushing. Either way, all that's doing is just making things easier on Red One to get his way up there and probably win this race too. If he has anything to say about it. And I'm sure he does. Obviously, he wouldn't be here if he didn't. Very nearly a crash back here for fourth. Very nearly a crash up here for second. Everybody is right on the limits of what their cars can do. And some of them are probably going a little bit past at the moment. Brown is absolutely pushing that car. If a Mustang can give birth, my God, he is good and he's putting that thing into labor. What kind of commentary is that? What am I yapping about? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. That's a Rikerism, I think. I can't even recite that. I don't know. I'm a sim at this point. I'm just speaking gibberish. Inane ramblings masking as autosports commentary. I don't know. Anyway, whatever the heck I just said aside, he's still pushing, but he just doesn't have the straight line of speed to get that done. If he were had a little less downforce on that car, he'd be able to get that pass. He might have to go to the touring car book, I think. And a little boop on the snoot of the Volkswagen, because he obviously can't get it done in straight line performance. Either that or ambush tactics, gonna dive it somewhere, but there aren't many good places to do that, and missing that corner will not help him do that either. And now Red One is all over his taillights. These three are still in stasis. Everything is just exactly as it was, it seems like. Nice close-up. Gee whiz. Like, I think my brain is recovered from whatever the heck I said on the run through Flugplatz. Maybe it's finally recovered. I'm not really positive on that. Now we climb. No, we don't climb. We take this hairpin, and then we climb up the hill. And the Volkswagens are gonna have another fun time. I don't know what it is. They have the least horsepower and the least torque. You'd think they'd have the hardest time climbing this hill, and yet they don't. They do not have that problem at all. Yoshi is in fact pulling away from Brown without the slipstream, and Ridwan is right there and probably about to overtake him in this left-hander, and Eunice is about to overtake AJ in this left-hander, I'm sure. No, we don't even get there. Ridwan's already into second before we even get to that point. AJ elbows out, manages to hold off the Finnish driver through there, but it's only a matter of time. We still got to run down that back straightaway 2 more times, and the Volkswagens are clearly in a league of their own. I don't really know. I was not familiar with this car's game. I thought front-wheel drive cars were literally just glorified shopping trolleys, but I guess they are not. Or maybe, like I said, it could just be that it's FR racing. They could probably be driving a shopping cart and they'd still be running top 5. Just do the Hot Wheels thing. You ever see Express Lane? They literally just take a shopping cart, stick a giant V8 in the front of it, put some wishbone suspension, turn the handle into a rear wing, and call it a hot rod. They'd probably get like top 5 in that too, if that were in Gran Turismo for some reason. But no, we have Hot Wheels and Forza instead. Probably for the best it's not here. I don't know what I would do with myself if I saw Twin Mill on GT7. Honestly, Hot Wheels dips their feet into everything else. They've collaborated with Gran Turismo to make diecast. They should just put their cars in here too. Why not? Why be stingy about it? Oh, it's not realistic enough, I bet. It's what probably people would say. Oh, forget that. We have the Tomahawk in this game. That's more realistic than any Hot Wheels car has ever been. I think Jet Threat 3.0 would make more sense than that stupid thing. I'm doing a lot of soapbox tangenting in this race, aren't I? Or this race weekend, for that matter. I don't know what's gotten into me. It's certainly never a quiet moment so far in this broadcast. I had no issues filling the void, but I also sound like a cranky Karen on Reddit or something, making a bunch of rant posts about nothing in particular. I suffered dreadfully, and no one cares. I shall have to go away. That is a bad mini carousel from Yoshi, and he is powerless to keep the Aussie behind. And as if nothing's really changed at all, except for the fact that Eunice is still struggling to get past AJ and Alexander. He may not be struggling for too much longer, though. Oh, sorry, I didn't get to the mute button in time. All I could do was turn my head away and hope. I don't think it mattered. Yoshi is slowly reeling in Ridwan. We've got all of the top 9 in view there, I think. Not so slowly anymore. He's going to go alongside. Will he get it back? Is that his plan after all? Just have the advantage on the back straightaway. Eunice will get Alexander. He'll actually be taken by both him and Knickel. And now we fight for third. Doors colliding and braking points missed. Crossover attack. There's Alexander Brown. They're 3 wide. Here's the excitement as we head back onto the GP circuit to take the white. Absolute chaos. I don't really know what was going on there. There's still 3, by the way. I think. Never mind, that's a perspective thing. They're not 3 anymore. AJ take it to him at the braking... Oh, he absolutely takes it to him at the braking zone. And he misses the braking zone. Can he park the bus on the inside? Argy-bargy, door banging. Here comes Alexander Brown. Never mind, he is sideways. Code Brown, more like. AJ remains in third, but Eunice has at least claimed one of his prey. And Ridwan is still back to the lead, so the back straight shenanigans did not win Yoshi He didn't win out there. I had words. Only one driver ran a sub-9, and that is Ridwan, who has now taken the lead. I'm not surprised by much of anything here. As I attempt to readjust myself in my chair and nearly yank the earbuds out of my controllers, that was very well done. Voice is taking a hit now, I'll tell you that. It's dark as heck in my room now. The sun's gone down. It was daylight when this started, and Eunice has missed the chicane. Alexander Brown has a chance. What in the Gran Turismo 1 was that? Awesome drift, 1,000 skill points. Unfortunately, Alexander, that's not the goal. You're not supposed to drift, you're supposed to overtake. Go easy on those Goodyear Eagles, driver. I don't think they're on Goodyears. I can't see. What tires? Clearly he needs grippier ones if he's gonna keep sliding around like that. Whatever they are. I can't see a tire brand on this car. Michelin. I think I see a Michelin logo in there somewhere. Take care of those Michelin pilots there, driver. That I have sinned. I have sinned. Anyway, Alright, let's get back in the zone here, brain. Oh boy, that's very understeery. That is the grass. That is dying. That is destruction. Oh my god. Tread a little too hard there, Alex. I think in any other circumstances that'd be a yellow flag, safety car, but this is the Nordschleife. We're on the the final lap. Words. I sound like a schizophrenic right now. The voices in my head are speaking in different languages, I think, or something, or I don't know. The voices in my head need to articulate their words a little bit better. I don't understand what they're trying to tell me. How can I be mentally insane if I don't even understand my own mental issues? My medical issues. Well, no, I understand those. More cinematic camera work. More understeer. That's a little bit too much miss there, Yoshi. It's gonna darn near cement the victor here, barring unforeseen circumstances. But it's not gonna put him under immediate threat from third or fourth behind. Probably because third is too busy being under threat from fourth place. And Regal Auto's here. About 4 minutes are left of racing to go. Okay, now Yoshi might be under threat from third and fourth. He has continued to have a couple of less than ideal turns. However, I don't think he'll be under threat from AJ. I think he's going to be under threat from Eunice, who will probably just dust that Genesis on the uphill straight here. Draws alongside. AJ will block that off. Can't block everything off though, as much as he is certainly trying to do so. Oh, he's in sixth gear too early. That was deafening. What in the world was that? turbocharger whine sound like a plane taking off outside my house. It'd be very difficult. Our yard's not big enough for that unless it's a VTOL. I'm bored with Itkunen as we head through the carousel for the final time this evening. We'll see what he sees from Kaneko and Yoshi up ahead. Come on, Throat, just 3 more minutes. Yoshi with some more understeer, but I don't think you'll be made to pay too much for that. And the last thing you want to get right now is a time penalty at this point. Doesn't matter what you do, just don't do that. God, River 1 is 4 seconds ahead. He could put it in Fuel Mix 3 down the back straightaway. Or he could get a penalty, which is kind of the same thing. That's the one thing I specifically said that you shouldn't do. And you defy my instructions. I smite thee. I curse thee with missed apex. You ignore the fact there's only a couple more apexes to go, and you could literally coast through them. Even that half second's not going to lose you the lead. Not when you got a 4-second advantage. Maybe if Yoshi didn't mess up miss hit miss, that would be a problem, but... Oh, come on, lungs! I thought he was about to miss that too, but nope, that was a desync. There we go, final time of the night, onto the back straight. Ridwan will decelerate for half a second, but I don't think he's gonna really be tearing his hair out about that. Or over that. Can AJ, no, he cannot hold off that Volkswagen. That is an absolute no. He has a run on Eunice, though. They're gonna go too wide at the S's for the final spot on the podium. No, we are not gonna do that, actually. AJ's run has stalled out completely. Crossover attack is his last chance, and Eunice covers that off, but he gets a better exit anyway. Ridwan's gonna win. It's a drag race to the finish line. Might be a 3-way drag race, but I think Yoshi is safe. And it will go to Kaneko by 113 thousandths over Itkunen, who had a really bad exit from the chicane at the end of the S's. So it will not be a double FR123. Eunice was a hundredth away from achieving that. It is still, however, Ridwan with 2 wins for us to go back-to-back. He's technically won 3 in a row, actually. But he's won back-to-back tonight. Yoshi second. AJ Kaneko rounds out the podium. Itkunen barely misses. Alexander Brown really fell off, and he fell back to even behind Robichaud. Everything else is basically the same as it was at the end of the previous race, except for Voiles. Managing 13th ahead of Maher despite not even being fast enough to qualify for the main race. But that'll conclude matters from the Nurburgring Nordschleife. Fear the Scirocco. That is what we have learned today, especially at its home turf, where it was built to be run. But that is for ATCC, AutoRacingConnected, etc., and for myself. Shoutouts to our title sponsor, to DIVEBOMB, our title sponsor, that's the word you're supposed to put after that. The media project that covers motorsports news from basically every major discipline, and to the Racing Rats, our modding partners, keeping the Assetto Corsa series going smoothly. I'm seeing all kinds of recruiting being done, a bunch of people popping up in the Discord to do that, I think, unless they're for ACC, I don't know what the difference is. Anyway, yeah, that will do it. Just wait till we're done here. We might be waiting a minute. Maher is still working on getting his way down. The timer is going to run out at some point. I just don't know how long. We've been here for about 2 minutes now. You can only fill so much time here, guys. Do just something. Move on. End the race. Voiles crosses Maher through the last few turns. I don't know if I'm saying his right either. It could be Maher or Mayer or something. I have not been educated on exact how to say his name either. It seems like it's one I'm probably overthinking. It's probably just Maher. But you never really know. That will do it officially from the Nordschleife. There we go. Oh my god. Take your time, game. Redwan goes from 5th to 1st and then 6th to 1st. Truly an unstoppable force. But I'm done. I need to taper off starvation and everything else. I probably could have been checking what the next 2 races were while we were waiting for everybody to cross. That would have been smart to do, but why would I ever do anything that is smart? It is the Red Bull Ring next week. So, and then there's an off week after that. So, until then, your local schizophrenic commentator signing off.